Toothpicks, saints in teeth, angels passing by, and smoke. A woman of pleasure, a primary school teacher, a maid, a very young maid, a sufferer of something that sooner or later will heal us. Life flees and writes on the light bulbs. Loving life follows you ahead, playing at nothing, as if nothing were. The beginning of everything, in silence, listening. The noise of things that do nothing and meanwhile remains Dante to a memory, like in an old film. Laughable, silly. Here comes the rain. Don't put nothing more in my pocket.
Serpent, thy overpraising leaves in doubt the virtue of that fruit in thee first proved. But say, where grows the tree? From hence how far? For many are the trees of God that grow in paradise, and various yet unknown. To us, in such abundance lies our choice, as leaves a greater store of fruits untouched, still incorruptible till men grow up in their provision, and more hands help to disburden nature of their birth. To whom the willy adder, blithe and glad, emperor, the way in ready, and not long beyond a row of myrtle on a flat of blowing mirth balm. If thou accept my conduct, I can bring thee hither soon.
Lei fuggiva lungo il viale. Io la seguivo illuminato. I suoi occhi dicevano: ho immaginato, ahimè, che tu m'hai riconosciuta. Io la seguii illuminato. Malinconici giochi, bocca ingenua. Perché mai l'avevo riconosciuta? Lei, leale sogno nato morto. Giochi troppo maturi, ma bocca ingenua. Garofano bianco d'azzurro troppo venato. Oh sì, soltanto un sogno nato morto, già che lei defunta è divenuta. Giaci, garofano d'azzurro troppo venato. La vita umana continua senza di te, defunta divenuta. Oggi andrò a casa senza cena. Veramente non l'ho mai conosciuta. Elle fuyait par l'avenue. Je la suivais illuminée. Ses yeux disaient: j'ai deviné, hélas, que tu m'as reconnue. Je la suivais illuminée. Je désolais, bouche ingénue. Pourquoi l'avais-je reconnue, elle? Je trop mûr, bouche ingénue. Des œillets blancs, d'azur veiné. Défunte, elle était devenue. Oh oui, rien qu'un rêve mort-né. J, œillet, d'azur, veiné. La vie humaine continue. Sans toi, défunte devenue. Je rentrerai sans dîner. Vrai? Je ne l'ai jamais connu. Jamais connu.
When the owner dies, even the animals cry. Indeed, it rains outside. Indeed, it never rains. When the owner dies, even the animals cry. They take all their things, go away, and never return. In school, I was doing poorly, always put back in chemistry. And just like Rocco, I hated gymnastics. Now I'm a good worker, but I don't know what job I'm doing. The tram is always late. The dust falls softly. Good morning, tree friend. I sleep with difficulty. Maybe I'm already dead. Or I'm in the afterlife. The birds are pecking. The sunflower is burning. When the owner dies, even the animals cry. The monkey went back to the leash. When the owner dies, even the animals cry. The fish jumps on the road. The donkey turns around the bend. The boat was finished at noon. Only the wheels are missing. Rocco lends me the sails for a kiss, or maybe two. In February, I go away with the change of the season. The gentle dog invites me to the ball, but I can't dance. The angels on the left sing, and meanwhile, Pinocchio burns.
Do you want a coffee? Good coffee made from sachets. Do you want a coffee, yes or no? Could you tell me what time it is? The tram always runs late. I'm not getting on anyway. Thank you.
There are things that stand in line, and other fleeting things that stand a little apart, or remain closed, like figures. Things shaped like sugar, pain, and chains, that come with the dark and disappear with the sun. There are things that make you laugh like hell, that pass quickly and stay deep in the heart. There are things on their own and things in circumstances, stupid, certain things and unimportant things. Things that are in a breath, nameless, and you don't even see them. Things that don't stand and go away suddenly. There are things outside of things with unspeakable colour, things that make you cry, and things with your name on them.
The many men so beautiful, they all dead did lie. 1,000 slimy things lived on, and so did I. I looked upon the rotting deck, and there the dead men lay. I looked to heaven and tried to pray, but ever a prayer had gust. A wicked whisper came, and made my heart as dry as dust. This is very, very important. This is the red line that connects this story. Exterior day. Cleopatra's Turkish tent on a hot, sunny day. Very little shade, and in front, motionless, the sea is slow.
She turns between the green and blue pillows, and from behind the veil looks ecstatic at her purple plastic comb and licorice rings. Then she drinks another sugar-free orange soda and lets herself go. Pale, very thin, naked, and sweaty on the colourful wall carpet. "Look who's here," hums Cleopatra. "For another 1,000 pesos, that little boy who thinks he's Buffalo Bill." And after 5 minutes, they both sit in front of the recently painted window, where you can see the sea and the deployed army. He looks out, then turns to her and says, "Even today, poor souls, they're waiting for the battle and the satisfaction, the flags, the cannon shots, the horses' charge, the piano bought in installments. You know," she says confidentially, "he's crazy about my skin, for my thinness and those tricks that only I can do. He's a circus boy with ropes and a gun and barely a beard. And I, when it's my time, I stand still, motionless like a saint, like a queen with snakes on my head and boxing gloves on my hands. In the midst of the daggers and the Indians. But we're both tired of touring Mexico, from one end to another. Tequila and mint leaves, another hotel, and always the same room number 3 that brings him luck. Give the papers to that guy with the mustache," I tell him quickly. "Buena tardes, senor." I, that thin and pale one, am Cleopatra. He, the guy who looks like a bullfighter, is with me. And you can call him Buffalo Bill. And don't forget tomorrow morning to change the sheets.
Texcoco distava 1 miglio dal lago, così costruimmo un canale per raggiungere più facilmente i villaggi degli Aztechi e conquistarli.
Do with me what you want. Nurses, waiters, hairdressers, ice makers, gladiators, mechanics, firemen, doormen, newspaper boys, drivers, machinists, stokers, scientists, whoremongers, jugglers. Search me. Look, check me out. I don't have a penny left. What was I talking about? Oh, yes. I have something absolutely pacific in mind, gentlemen. Scene 4 of the second act. The horsemen get on their horses. The fishermen get off their boats. The salesmen hastily flee in fear. The lights in the parking lot suddenly go out as Rocco and I, feeling ourselves like monkeys through the trees and the powdered sugar. Good night.
Perdiamo tempo, tempo da perdere, come un cane sulla strada senza padrone. Aspettiamo qualcuno, qualcuno arriverà. I bicchieri vuoti ondeggiano e cadono. Il tempo è fermo, nessuno all'orizzonte. Siamo pronti a non fare nessuna recita, come al gioco delle carte. La donna, i bicchieri, la strada, il letto, lui, lei, lui, l'acqua, la macchina, il fucile, il recinto, l'ospedale e altre cose ancora.
A perfect plan, my love. I have in mind where to make this hit that will secure our whole entire future. No more pills, no more ropes around the bed. Ah, here it is. From the front, from the side, and from above. The bakery in front of the sea. Ah, a perfect plan. Sheets number 1 and number 2. At closing, around midnight, you, Rocco, stand guard and keep the engine running in our car. I enter the bakery casually. I order 100 pastries. The best, most delicious, whipped cream, chocolate, sugar, strawberry. I have them packaged in one box, one row on top of the other. The pastry chef, that bold guy, will say for sure, but they'll get ruined like that. Don't worry, I tell him. We like them like that, all squished. He then insists a little more and puts on a big voice. I then take the chocolate pastry and squish it in my hands and lick it, just so he knows who he's talking to. And finally, the big head is convinced. He has them wrapped and tasseled properly. It's now sunset outside our car on the waterfront. Sheets number 11 and 12. The sound of the shiny blue paper rattles in the bowls of my hands that makes my mouth water. And finally, the pastries on the shiny glass counter of the bakery. The guy tells me the bill verbally, because here in the South we don't have printed receipts or anything like that. I take the tray in my hands and say, oh, oh, oh. And then, swinging, I reach the door of the bakery. And off I go. A breakneck race to our car. I dive in, and then you rocket off. What do you think? A perfect plan? And then you go into ecstasy. What is ecstasy? Well, I think it's a kind of excessive joy. Yes, that's right. Excessive joy. What do you think? A perfect plan?
Ecco, signore e signori, noi abbiamo montato, come vedete, al centro della scena questa piccola tenda da campeggio e qualcuno fra gli spettatori a questo punto si chiederà: ma che vuol dire? Ma che significa? Ebbene, non significa nulla, è una cosa in sé. No, dico, questa tenda vi piace come cosa in sé? Vi fa ridere, vi fa piangere, vi disturba. Tutte le storie che vi capitano davanti sono accadute tutte prima del diluvio. Voglio dire, prima della tenda. Dopo sono solo storie di naufragi. Naufragi, frantumi, pezzi con larghi squarci incomprensibili tra una storia e l'altra e che abitano in ognuno di voi in maniera singola e singolare. Per sfuggire alla morte, per correre incontro alla vita, fate voi. Sono io a chiedervi, per favore, in lacrime. Signore e signori, ma che andiamo facendo? Noi non possiamo fare altro che, come acrobati, mettere a rischio le nostre stesse vite. E che? Oh! No, vi vedo, gentile pubblico, che ci guardate così un po' perplessi, ma non dovete avere timore, ma vi prego, venite verso di noi, verso la tenda, e ponete le armi. Fate naufragio. Avanti, avanti! Avanti! Ah, eccoli là, finalmente li vedo arrivare a uno. I primi li riconosco subito, sono i facchini. E poi ci stanno gli imbianchini, guarda là, sanno portare i sommozzatori, gli allibratori, le infermieri, i cercatori d'oro. Guarda là, i giocatori d'azzardo sanno portare le prostitute, e quanto sono belli, insieme ai falsari, ai fakiri, ai sicari, ai soldati. Oh, i diabetici, salutami i diabetici, i cioccolatieri, venite. Assieme ai ragionieri, assieme agli elettricisti, guarda là.
Will thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale. It was the lark, the herald of the morn. No nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yond east. Night's candles are blown out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die. Yond light is not daylight, I know it. It is some meteor that the sun exhaled. To be to thee this night a torch bearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet, thou needest not to be gone. More light, more dark, our woe.
Proprio a questo punto Greta viene di corsa verso di me, scivolando rapida lungo il muro della fabbrica, e ride in silenzio. Rocco fuma, virgola. Greta, virgola, si cambia d'abito stupita. Non c'è più nessuno. Tutto pare un posto abbandonato. Siamo in attesa, fino a domani. E domani chissà. La vita come fosse una scena comica. Restiamo in ascolto delle cose che non fanno niente. Non c'è più il prima e non c'è più il dopo.
Rocco comes up to me strangely dressed and says, "To the last breath." Maybe it's the title of a movie. Maybe it's today's program. I drink a coffee without understanding. Without sugar, thank you. Then Rocco falls to the ground. "Hey, old sailor, are you at the end yet?" I first worry, then laugh. Greta laughs. That's how I laugh. Greta laughs again. Finally, Rocco gets up and takes me away along the beach. hand in hand. I feel protected, and so I sing Coleridge out loud. The wash machine spin has almost finished. It makes a sweet, sweet, hellish noise. I have a face full of tears.
Abbiamo inventato tutto per prendere tempo. Quella volta che all'ospedale, alla scuola, alla fabbrica non c'era più nessuno.
Alto là! Chi va là?
Fermati. Tu a me devi rispondere. Viva il re! Bernardo! Proprio lui. Arrivi puntualissimo. Mezzanotte è arrivata da poco. Vatti a riposare, Francesco. Grazie per questo cambio. Ha un freddo che morde. Vai. È stata una guardia tranquilla, non si è mosso un topo. Buonanotte. 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 Buonanotte.
Gwyn did not offer to help her, for may be sure, in the midst of diversion caused by her screaming, the faithless bully stole away. Which of us is Captain Quinn to engage, said I to Mick, for it was my first affair, and I was as proud of it as the suit of laced velvet. It is to you, or I, Cousin Mick, that is, to have the honour of chastising the insolent gentleman, Englishman. I held out my hand as I spoke, for my heart melted towards my cousin under the triumph of the moment. But he rejected the profited offer of friendship. You, said he in the towering passion, hanging you for the meddling brat, your hand is in everyone's pie. What business had you to come brawling and scrawling here with a gentleman who had 1,500 a year? The many men so beautiful, they all did lie. 1,000 slimy things lived on, and so did I. I looked upon the rotting sea and drew my eyes away. I looked upon the rotting deck, and there the dead men lay. I looked to heaven and tried to pray, but ever a prayer had bust. A wicked whisper came and made my heart as dry as dust. Cappiculo e Nacho. Del buen succession qu'il el valsuro Don Quixote. Tuve en la espantable y jamás imaginable adventure de los molinos diventó con otro sucesión de feliz recordación. En esta descripción trianta o cruentia molinos de vento que hay en cuela campo y es como Don Quixote. Los vi dijo a si escudrió la ventura va guiando nuestra cosa mejor de lo que acertáramos decía, porque ahí amos Sancho Panza.
Now I remember. You are the one that hurt me, and I, laughing like a fool, as if we were preparing a circus act. Buffalo Bill and Cleopatra. I laugh that there is nothing to laugh about. You put me half naked on the Arapache totem pole, and you, dressed as Buffalo Bill, tequila and mint leaves. Then, in springtime at the hospital, together we tried to stop drinking, once and for all, for the last time. And on one early morning in September, just after the summer, for no reason, we stopped seeing each other. We never met again. What a regret. What a pity. What luck. If you want, I will write it to you. Don Quixote's armor suits you well. I opened a store of small handmade jewelry and stopped drinking and smoking. For no reason, Greta turns, as if she were a curtain, and shows us her lean, naked back, and the frame changes. Suddenly, Greta abandons herself, and rests her head on Rocco, smiling. Greta unrolls the strip of cloth she was holding in her hand. The wound was on the bandage and not on the hip. Rocco turns to Greta and barely touches her with his hand. Every story has a common thread. Rocco turns towards Greta and barely touches her with his hand. Reverse shot, the donkey leans out the window and looks at them once more as it rains. On the windows, it was just the rain, so to speak. A car wash by hand. Still slowly turning over in the raft bed, still holding the wound. What is that noise? Just the wind. Sometimes we imagine unbelievable causes for natural illnesses. I sit amongst the knives, looking like a monkey in the trees. The barber puts away his towel and scissors and walks away. Nurses pass quickly in the corridor with medicines. The beds are white. The night is disinfected. And tomorrow.
Stuzzicadenti, santi fra i denti, angeli che passano e fumano. Una donna di piacere, una maestra elementare, una cameriera giovane, una malata di qualcosa che prima o poi ci farà guarire. La vita fugge e scrive sulle lampadine, la vita amorevole davanti ti segue, giocare a far niente, come se niente fosse l'inizio di ogni cosa, in silenzio, ascoltare il rumore delle cose che non fanno niente, e intanto manda a memoria Dante, come in un vecchio film, stupido, da far ridere. Arriva la pioggia, non mettermi in tasca niente di più. Dove sono finiti i bambini, gli operai, i matti, i moribondi, i dinosauri, i serpenti, i leoni, le palme, i giocatori, i soldati, le cameriere, i buffoni, i cani, le papere, i giardini curati, il pallone, i clienti delle ragazze seminude? E dove sono i quadri dell'Apocalisse, i tavoli ben apparecchiati coi bicchieri dell'acqua, del vino rosso, del vino dolce, e il tè, il cioccolato, i fiori, la luna?
Toothpicks, saints in teeth, angels passing by, and smoke. A woman of pleasure, a primary school teacher, a maid, a very young maid, a sufferer of something that sooner or later will heal us. Life flees and writes on the light bulbs. Loving life follows you ahead, playing at nothing, as if nothing were the beginning of everything. In silence, listening, the noise of things that do nothing, and meanwhile remains Dante to memory. Like in an old film, laughable, silly. Here comes the rain. Don't put nothing more in my pocket.